Yeah, so everyone, thank you so much for joining today. We're really excited to share a little bit of the vision for 2024 as we're entering the new year. So this is, of course, one webinar of many more to come. We really have this habit now of having our monthly talks to keep everyone in the loop of what's happening on our side and what the new expectations can be. So today we've handpicked a few key features that we thought we could look at today. And based on that, we can then kind of just explore what the direction is for the coming year. And then, of course, also at the end of the webinar, take you through a little bit more details of just a few key features, let's say, that were also in the roadmap that are maybe not key talking points. Yeah, Julia, I'll let you take us through the agenda.
Yeah, all right, perfect. Thanks a lot, Mario, for this introduction. So the agenda for today is that we're going to focus on introducing some new exciting features and our vision for 2024. What's coming basically the next year, what we are preparing currently for, and we are really excited to also get some insights from you. And that's why we have the Q&A session with which we'll just wrap up the webinar, the session. And now I can give it back to Mario to take us through the details.
Yeah, thanks, Julia. So just to give you a quick overview of some of the key talking points for today. So first, we're going to talk about the new authoring tool. So how that's going to be upgraded and how that's going to be working with a grid, which is really exciting. Then we're going to look at content export in SCORM format and what that means. Then we'll look at the video editing options. So the wide array sort of different options that are coming for that. We're also going to look at the upgraded project management tool. So that's also really exciting to help people manage between different teams, content projects and things like this. Then we'll look at the dynamic social wall for users, which is a big feature coming for next year. And then we'll end, of course, with the chat with audio and video feedback and content AI integrations. So these are kind of the core topics we'll cover. And then once we've covered those, we'll also look at, a global roadmap for 2024 in a nutshell. So that's a bit of the overview.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now we can actually get into details. Before that, maybe Pascal, you want to share something from your end before we get into the details?
Yeah, you will see that the vision for 2024 is, as usual, very driven by the creativity and a taste for branding and design. It's at the origin of the project. It's the reason why we started the company and the platform, the software, is because we wanted to deliver to our clients the platform that is easy to manage, that is basically crafted for design. So we are aiming the platform to creative people so they can easily brand the platform and create all the content they need to deliver to their learner. We know that this is also a branding exercise for our clients. So the vision will continue with the same creativity and even offering new feature to simplify the development of any content and the management of the platform.
Great. Thanks a lot, Pascal. So now we can get started with the key topics of today. First one being the new authoring tool with Grid. This is something we are really excited about. We believe it will really impact the way everyone work. So Ariel, do you want to give us an insight on that, perhaps?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. So basically for the authoring tool, you already have seen that we've rolled out a lot of new features. We keep building at it. We really are very excited about really making this a really core tool within the LMS where we really want to have maximum freedom. So more and more we see that we start to be able to really mimic all the, let's say, layout options that we find in SCORM, for example, also in the authoring tool. And now the next step is really to break free from this column approach. So currently we have either a 1 or 2 column approach in the authoring tool, which really simply put just means that you can, either align things in 1 row or 2 rows, but you're really bound to this kind of layout system. And the idea is that in the future, that will be breaking free basically, and that will become open. And so you can imagine that you can then really drag and drop your elements anywhere on the page. which will mean you get a much, much more unique layout. It means that you have a lot more editing options, formatting options. And so that's really going to be very key. So even though, a grid in itself might not mean so much and it might not sound so exciting, in terms of the layout options that you will get from it, it'll be very, 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 very different, very, very challenging, and you can do a lot more. So this means you can drag and drop videos, text, images, and place them anywhere on the page. You can make them also then bigger and smaller. And so it just means that you have a lot more freedom there. Scott, do you want to, go to...
Yeah, absolutely, Marielle. Basically for us, the idea is it's to go the closest we can to a graphic editorial tool software. So it's not to display, it's really to design with a lot of precision. So you can imagine that you have like a video or image background, and then depending on your layouts, you want to have a little button, a little title. You want, any information can be really positioned very precisely. And this grid will come as well with new features. For example, you will have more font capacity. So we are, brainstorming to bring into the system a margin where you will be able to locally control your colors, your font face, the size, the padding. So basically, you will have a Photoshop online, to really edit your image. In fact, these all features can already be done, but it's going to be honest with a better user friendliness. You may have noticed that a lot of the content has changed lately because we have a new amazing UX and UI team, and the friendliness and the intuitivity of the platform. It will be honest, and it's really objective to make it, don't make me think, just it will be obvious. So yes, the grid is we're very exciting, and we can't wait for this new feature to be released to your platform.
Let me add one more point to this, which is very important. We are parallel to the grid working on the mobile layout enhancement as well, because at the moment we can design let's say the desktop layout. We started to add some kind of mobile supporting feature, for example, to have a separate image for mobile, a different image for mobile, but of course we're not stopping there. With the grid system, we will also allow to switch between breakpoints, at least between mobile and desktop, but probably even something in between, in order to see in one go how it will look on mobile, how it will look on desktop or bigger screens, and to fine-tune the different parameters for the mobile as well, in order to create something even more optimized. And we are really constantly working with our content editor team based on their feedbacks, how to enhance the scalability as well of the layout which has been built, in order to preserve as much as possible the design, the variant, to have something very solid. Because we want to stay, and we will stay, a responsive design, a responsive framework where we support different layouts. Because the problem with SCORM packages, many of them are not super responsive. However, we would like to enhance and basically take everything, every good points from the different worlds in this authoring tool.
Yeah, thank you for that, Gabor, because it is very important for us. This revolution that the grid is bringing, it's also to be even more mobile learning friendly. That it's also very important for us that the experience is equal on desktop or on the mobile.
And sorry, one more thing which came to my mind that we started to work on. And you might have seen the first steps, that we have the vision to take the preview of the authoring tool on the admin as close to the final result as possible. So at the moment, there are still a lot of widgets on the admin which are looking techy, but we are trying to basically bring the end experience to the admin. So for example, if you've probably seen, we already did this with flip cards. So the flip cards on admin now look as the end result. but we will do this with all the widgets next year. So you don't have to press a preview button eventually on the admin, but you will see actually what you get in the end.
Yeah, it would be an important point, because it's true that, for example, for the landing page, for any the dashboard or any pages that's been creating in the system, you will benefit from this authoring tool. So you will really work as what you see with what you get, and the possibility to really custom in very, very small detail your different pages, and with the creativity that your project require. So thank you for that information, Gabriel. It was important.
Yeah, we definitely have many stuff coming next year for the authoring tool itself, not to mention all the other exciting elements. So yeah, then moving forward, we have something that is quite awaited, and this is export in SCORM format of the content that you can currently create in the authoring tool. So maybe Gabor, you can take us through the topic, and then we can pass it on to Pascal as well to get us details.
Actually, it's a pretty simple topic from end users' perspective. Will be a bit harder for the developers, but we already have many workshops, and we discussed the approach. So basically, we are a multi-solution tool in a way. We are an LMS, we are a learning, an authoring tool. We also have project management tool inside. So we have quite a lot of tools. And of course, being an authoring tool, we envision that maybe some clients will use rather more our LMS features, others will more use our authoring tool features, and the ones who are using the authoring tool features, but actually for everyone, we understand it's very important to have a content that is portable after. So maybe to create a very stunning content with the authoring tool, and then after to be able to give it to, let's say, a partner who doesn't have the possibility to use our tool for legal reasons or something. We've seen many different scenarios why this can be very important, but basically, very simply, you will be able to download the lessons and after the quizzes as well that you produce with our authoring tool. So you can have a copy, you can use it on another platform later on, or you can just transfer that way to some partner. So that's what is coming.
Yeah, and this was really a feature that a lot of you actually requested as well. So this was something that was long awaited, and we know that a lot of clients will be using this, because really, even though you're on our LMS, you may have partners or different stakeholders that you want to share the content with. And so that's really the idea, that in the click of a button, you can basically share it and export it to any other learning platform. So yeah, that's really the idea there. I don't know if you want to add anything, Pascal?
Yeah, it's also practically the softwares that are used today to create SCORM require certain knowledge, certain training, and make you also dependent on the solution and sometimes on the external team. And here you will be able to benefit from all the power of the authoring tool, having the possibility to quickly update any content, even sometimes duplicate some content to do some major update for a different region, and benefit from the automatic translation system, and then very quickly having the possibility to regenerate the SCORM that you can even put at disposition within your platform, so people can log, connect, have the possibility to download the package and integrate it into their own system. So it's for many of our clients, for example, works as well in software training. That's really a key feature.
Yeah, this one we can expect Q3, Q4 of next year, but yeah, it will be long awaited, and I think it will be really great for a lot of projects.
Yes, we will do actually in steps. So if we can, we'll try to roll out first export for lessons, and then export for quizzes. So the earliest we can make it available, we will of course let you know.
Yeah, indeed. Right. So the next exciting feature is like some more options for the video editing.
Yeah,
So
sorry, I'm very excited. Sorry,
because I know you're super excited about this one. So please.
Yeah, because since the beginning, I'm on the early days for us, video has been a key in our system. I don't like to say that it's a video first platform because it's beyond that, but video is very powerful when it comes to training. Brain is designed to forget information, and video today we are consuming a lot of information. It can be news or on social media. Video is something that really connects with the brain, basically. So we have developed many features around video training, video-based training. I know we make it short saying video, but it's also audio. So we have a video assessment, interactive videos. We have video coaching. We have video quizzes. You can have a video when the video starts and then it stops after a question. The learner can answer, and then the video will continue until the next question. But what we are planning for 2024 is the possibility to directly record your training session or your message on the platform. And then instead of having to redo it, if you're not pleased with certain sequence of your video, you will be able to trim it to edit the video directly on the platform. So really you can at ease start to make all the mistakes you wish, or maybe to repeat a paragraph that we think you could improve it, and then you can review the video, trim, edit, and then when you're really happy, publish it into the system. We would be planning as well to have an intro and outro sequence. You can already start to brand your system directly onto the platform. So we will continue to push, and you will see after. I don't want to do any spoiler, but we will even push it further, but we talk about that after.
Yeah, and this really for us, it was a natural evolution because we already, of course, have the ability to record videos in the platform. And so there we really see that then the teacher or the instructor can go into the platform, record their talk, and then even clip it in live. So that really you don't necessarily need the video expert. Of course, video technicians can be really useful in enhancing the project, but it goes back to a little bit the vision that Pascal was mentioning earlier, where we just want to give you full autonomy and where you can manage things on your side, or where you do want to have sort of an efficient rollout of certain project, you can have that short turnaround time.
Thank you, Maya.
Great. So, quite exciting features of Kind. The next one is also related to content editing, but more, let's say, for the content managers. And this is the project management tool that will be definitely something pretty helpful. Mario, could you give us an insight on that?
Sure. So we already have a first project management tool, as some of you might already know, some might be already using it. So currently what it means is for the content management is that you can assign labels to it. So you can say this one is ready to publish, this is not one. This one is not yet accepted. You can assign it to different project managers. But we are aware that this is sort of a very basic rollout of the project management tool. So what we'll be doing early next year will be putting out a survey actually to all of you to really get your inputs there as well, to see what would you like to see from the project management tool, to really try and enhance that, to say, even maybe linking it to publishing rights and assigning and making it a little bit more efficient when it comes to project management. So this is really, really key for us to make it as applicable as possible. And it also links to other features that are already in progress. One of them, for example, being commenting on slides. So what we're currently rolling out is that you can actually comment on slides on the content editing side, which means that then it's really easy for a team to say, where a manager comes in, he comments on the slides, then publishes it back to the content team, and the content team enhances the slides until they're ready to be published. So these are really the kind of things where we just really want to think about the practical process and make it easier for you, make it easier for your team, for everyone to be basically on the same page and have all of that interaction within the platform.
Yes. Go ahead, Gabor.
No, I just wanted to say one thing that actually I had today, the first hands-on of this feature, because the team was ready today for starting the testing. So we are very close to roll it out. We will actually be able to add comments on the widgets inside the slide. So you have a comment area for all the widgets. So if you say, oh, there's this image, let's replace this image to something else, or here is this text, we need to change a little bit this text. So this is a kind of an internal discussion that the editors can do. And then it's very easy to see if there is some kind of new comment or which slide, or which widget they are, to work together until this specific lesson or lesson slide is ready. And on the lesson slide overview page, we are also indicating if any of the slides have new comments to review. So it will be very easy to just review a complete lesson and see if there is something new discussion going on, because it's all the comments can be marked as completed. So it's a kind of a to-do list plus commenting feature together. And we support the threaded discussions as well. So even though it's only for admins, it's very, very, very advanced and will help just a lot to help the review and enhance the content internally.
Yeah, thank you, Gabor. And you see it's really come with the core of the project being a creative tool, because we know that it's not a one-person job, not a team. Usually the team, you've got an instructional designer, you've got like the stakeholders, the copywriters, script, you have e-learning designers. And historically, we've seen the team working with 4 to 5 different tools to finally achieve and validate the product before it's published into the platform. So what we want today is really from day one, the storyboard is creating on the system. Then when validated, you can change the status, you can hold the discussion on the side. So it's really centralize and facilitate the content development. Is really our target for 2024, and give you even more control over your project management and the validation of all the steps.
Yeah, exactly. So this was like part for the admin side, let's say. Of course, these are big stuff that are coming, but now we can discuss some more for the users, for the front end experience, and this is related to social learning. And again, we really value this kind of the social learning part of the platform. So here, maybe Pascal, you can take us through this topic in detail.
Yeah, one of the aspects that we're still saying an LMS, learning management system. It's I tend to call learning platform, and we are really pushing to a learning experience platform, that LXP. So basically, we aiming to that the platform is not only a place where information is being pushed to the learner, but it's also a place where the learner, through the chat and the forum, can connect, exchange. We have a project of creating even stronger collaborative space where learner can start to create content between them. And the social world goes into this direction. You know, when you have a community, you have also experts in your community, and you can even see that there are influencers, like in social media, people who are learn so much and have some expertise to share. So basically, social world is a place where people can interact, sharing some articles that come from outside of the platform. You can sharing a video, sharing a link. You can share also a comment or a document you created onto the platform. So it's really a place of, I will say, where you can get inspired and you can be fed by information coming from the community. So really saying to the people, you see, with the chat, with the forum, with the social world, with the creative space, it's also your platform. You know, it's not only it's a place as well that the flow of information coming from both ways, from the instructor, from the company, but also from the I will say from the community. The sense of user-generated content that's applied to e-learning platform.
All right, great. So this is actually, I think, quite already a lot about this topic. So we can smoothly move on to the next topic, which is audio and video feedback. And this one I know Mario is super excited about, so the floor is yours.
Yeah, I think we were all very excited about this one in the team, but it's true that I had like a special passion for the video feedback. So basically what it means is that currently, of course, you're already able to record sound, you're able to record video, and the students can give, for example, assignments by video or audio. The idea is now that we also really extend that to the chat so that the teacher or the instructor can really chat with the student by sound bites. We just realized that especially the latest generation, they don't write text message anymore. They don't write messages anymore necessarily. They love an audio recording. And so we really also want to go along with the users there. So the idea would be that you have the chat, you can chat with your teacher, your instructor in terms of feedback, but you can also record an audio bite. And the idea is that on top of that, not only can you record an audio bite, but you'll also be able to record video. And the way that will look is we've done a small preview a little bit here on the screen, is that you'll have these little, let's say, bubbles in the chat where you just see the person's face, like a little avatar, and they're recording themselves. This also kind of then cuts out, all the background and all the noise on the video, and you just concentrate on the person's, verbal message. So that's something that we're really excited about rolling out. And we think that will really allow a much more dynamic relationship between the instructors and the students. In the future, we could even think about doing this for students to student chats as well. So yeah, that's something that's coming. And as soon as it's live, we'll of course send an update to everyone, but that's something that's really going to change the way people behave on the platform.
Yeah, for everyone to know, it was Mariela's idea, and I'd love my daughter, when she communicates with her friends, she's not writing, she's leaving audio, text, or even video feedback. And also, when you have, for example, a video assessment, someone is presenting a product or, developing a concept, how difficult it is, because, today with this video assessment, you can give a positive or constructive feedback on the timeline. But, how to teach to someone to do better with just writing instead of just directly, showing the good example and saying, you could have said that and this. So that's easier. And it also really make the whole communication and interaction easier. You also, we want to be very inclusive. We know that some people can be, for example, dyslexic. Einstein was dyslexic, very smart person, but couldn't write really well. And that's, on the e-learning platform, it can really, I will say, can be a break for people to express themselves and communicate with others. So having the chance to give audio and video, it's going to be a massive improvement. Also, imagine you are, in your car, or, you are on your mobile and you want to listen to the feed of conversation around a topic. You just have to hit play and you're listening the different conversation. And so it's really easy to really get into the lesson or into the feed, and for you as well to give a feedback. So Marielle, thank you very much for this good idea.
I want to add to this, because we discussed about these audio and video supporting the chat, how people interact, but actually we also have the word feedback. So, there's this feedback form at the end of a lesson that the students can fill. Of course, in this feedback form, we will also allow giving audio and video feedback, and optionally, these feedbacks could be exposed to other students. So it could be a decision of the administrator to say, okay, do I want other students to see some kind of feedback from the lesson? And of course, the learner will know about it and can give the permission for this feedback. But we will, really allow them to give feedback. We were thinking that not necessarily giving feedback for a complete lesson, but to have like a specific feedback widget that you could place on the lesson. And if as an admin, you would like to collect feedback over a specific lesson because it's a topic and you want to also enhance the community learning, then this widget could be placed there, and then kind of a small mini discussion inside the lesson could be started on a given slide. So that will be also very interesting and kind of comes to this topic.
Yeah.
Thanks a
lot for this insight. This is really interesting. And then lastly, we have the content AI integrations. to really keep up with the latest things going around. Then we already introduced some AI integrations, and I guess Gabor might be really happy to share the next steps for this part.
Yes, AI is a big buzzword lately. Of course, we all know that. So, we of course analyzed how AI could help learning, and we already have a small AI tool for administrators who can turn on under settings, private AI, which will help the administrator to create content. You can ask to write a few paragraphs on a given topic, and then very easily add as a text-based like a snippet paragraph into your lesson. However, we will add more guides for admins. We will add image generation AI, so you can ask to create some images based on the content of the lesson that we are currently looking at, or you could just define what kind of image you would like to create, and then the AI will create a few variants, and you can choose the one that you prefer. But also to help in question creation. First, we will start with creating a few questions based on the current slide on the lesson. But after, we will take it further and train for a complete lesson or for a complete course to create a full quiz with many different questions based on the topic. So it can be also very helpful to easily create additional quizzes. So there will be like a set of admin helper AI integrations, but of course we would like to have the users as well. So we will start enriching and empowering our search tool with AI capabilities to have better search capabilities, but also to have an assistant. So if the user would like to ask something, and there are two kinds of assistants we have in mind. One is to help how to use the platform. For a user, if they have some kind of questions, where can I sign my certificates or so on and so forth. The other one is more questions about the content itself. Of course, we will have a lot of work about permissions to make sure that questions can only be asked based on the content the actual student has access to, because we have all the group management. But the student will be able to ask questions on the content they have access to and get some answers. And as we go on, of course, we can step into the analysis of student behavior to see what were the responses on quizzes, how much time was spent on different lessons, and so on. And use the AI to create a unique learning path or a unique specialized quiz to strengthen knowledge. So all this is going to be available, and we are working with the advisor teams to build the different models of these different data sets, keeping in mind that we really are cautious about securing the information. So we are really looking for something that we can has inside AWS to keep everything secured and keep all the information inside the same private infrastructure. We said this is the last topic that we spoke about, but I would like to highlight that it's not all the features that we are going to roll out, of course, next year, because there are some topics that are already worked on, and they are not even in this visionary slides. Let me mention some of them. So we have the roles and permission system, which is ready. It's currently under heavy testing, and we are still fine-tuning in order to support teacher access to specific content, so that at the moment there is a global admin who can access everything. But with this feature, there will be very granular access to which content an admin can have access to. And also we are working a lot on notification and statistics systems to have a dashboard for administrators to see different kind of statistics, and also to-do list for administrators. And these are also very important features. However, given they are kind of partially the scope of this year as well, and they are very much advanced, we didn't really mention them, but it means actually they are coming in Q1. most of these very exciting features additionally.
Yeah, you can imagine that we have a lot of very exciting ideas for the coming year. Learner calendar. We've got branching learning. We've got an online statistic page for users admin that looks stunning. That will be published very shortly now. The possibility to take notes for learners and many more. Like a recommendation by a peer to a peer. Put favorites. Having favorite system, which we call pin. You will see shortly the library is going to be completely redone, reorganized with a beautiful features, filtering, and so on. We've got also some new features for nano learning, where you can have, when you log a snippet of about a subject, it can be a question, can be an information, and then you can either go to the next or click and dive into a nano session of only 1 minute to reinforce your knowledge. So yeah, we've got with the mobility is also a big subject. You know that it's a web app. We've got the native app also on the side. So yes, a lot of ideas and a lot of very exciting new features for the coming months and year.
It's great that you mentioned the library. Actually, I had a meeting today with one of our clients, and actually we received quite a lot of good feedback, positive feedback on the new look and feel with the side menu. But we will keep evolving all the sections for the users, starting with the library, which is just the design was just ready and the team is starting to work on it next week. But also the search, it's like smaller sitemap. We really would like to focus a bit more on the learning path, to have a better accessible learning path, not just through a widget. So constant evolution will happen on the look and feel and the usability of the app side. Well, renewing the quiz types. We have new quiz types coming, and not just new ones coming, but the current ones will be also improved. So there are many improvements of the existing layouts and features, which are like smaller improvements, but they will like be a game changer. And after that, sorry, just one sentence, that after that, we will also go on the admin area to review the settings screen and all the other screens under admin. So we first focus on our users, but after we come back and also review the usability of the admin area.
Yeah, what we will reinforce working on that is the template, because when you go in the authoring tool, you get a template of gallery by feature, for example, image, text, image, video, and then you can select a template, so you're not starting from nothing, but we will have your own templates. So you will be able to design and save your own templates. So you will be able to reuse, a gallery of ready layout with a background and preset buttons and so on. So it's going to end also reuse a full lesson, for example, or a quiz, where you think, okay, for this type, I will select this course template. So it's good because not only it increase your productivity, but for example, onboarding a new colleague, you are kind of passing on a methodology that's being developed by your company and approved with the test, the learner test. That's really that will be it sounds like a small update, but in fact it's going to be a massive update for your productivity and your I will say your workflow. Of course, you will see we will continue with that with custom button, animation, and color setting, font collection. But I'm repeating myself now.
Yeah, I think there's really many topics that we didn't cover today that we can really that we have in the roadmap. But in general, we're just very excited to really move to the new frontiers next year, to really keep pushing the limits of learning, to really keep listening to everyone, to really keep creating this together with the community. Maybe in a nutshell, just to summarize everything we said in terms of the features that are coming. So as Gabor mentioned, there's the library improvement, there's collaborative documents in the library. There will also be a student calendar being rolled out, social media sharing for badges and certificates. We're also looking at China and Chinese hosting to give really a dedicated server experience to China. We're looking at improving, of course, a native application, a grade book, video backgrounds, also enhanced UX for the mobile quizzes on the mobile experience, and even a skills matrix quiz. So where you can really then also look at the skill matrix of your learners and they can develop per profile. So there's a lot of different sort of exciting features in the backlog and planned for Q1, Q2, and Q3. So we're really, really looking forward to. But I think we try to pick the ones that are the most exciting to you guys today to really focus on. But we'll be happy to follow up on the other ones in the coming monthly calls, of course.
Actually, an invitation to our new academy as well, because Julia had done an amazing work redeveloping the whole academy with new video, new look and feel, new system. The academy is now ready, so you will all receive an invitation. There you will have all the tutorial through video format. This system is enriched by every time we've got a new question for our clients to explain the concept. If he's not there, the video is automatically created. So it's really every day you get new content. And I love the look and feel of the new academy. So I'm excited that you also are receiving this invitation.
Great. Yeah, we can move to Q&A, right, Julia? I think,
yeah, exactly.
So I don't know in terms of questions. I noticed earlier there were a few questions in the chat. I think they were quite straightforward. We can have a look at, see if there's anything else. But does anyone have any questions about the upcoming features? Of course, you're welcome to ask now or to think about it and come back to us later. But are there any first reactions or first questions from you guys?
Sounds clear.
I see Vanessa's raising her hand.
Okay.
Please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I'm really excited to hear about all the news. It's really amazing. So I don't even know what my favorite will be because everything sounds wonderful and I'm looking very much forward to working with it. The one question I would have is actually about the library, because I was just wondering, when are those changes going to be visible to us? Because I know we have some major things coming up there. So I'm wondering if we should wait for the new library functions before we start working on that.
Yeah, that's
very short, Gabor.
Yeah, it's Q1 actually. So the library design is already completely finalized and it's already starting in development. So normally that would be, Gabor, am I correct in saying end of Q1 for the library development to be delivered?
I'm even more optimistic, and I would say this time that it's probably in January.
Oh.
I usually very cautious about giving any, but this is like a visual update. We will have new features inside the library. Probably we will not roll out everything in January because we have a new search in the library and some new features. But for the visual upgrade and some basic features, I think we are really trying to go live in January with it, or at least show it on staging, but it's very close.
So Vanessa, I think it will be just the time to come back from your champagne break and we will have it.
Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Anyone else with any questions?
Can we also express a need or don't hesitate? Huh?
I don't know if Jody brought this up, but I will just, of course, the guy who missed half the call with the meeting has to ask a question, so bear with me. But we talked about maybe having a dashboard, and I know you mentioned that briefly with the gating of permissions, but so leaders could see through that transparency. Is there kind of a rough timeline? I'm just trying to help match up timelines on my end and expectation for our leadership and when we can roll that out to our leaders. Any gauge on that at all? And then that's not to put you in a box, but what's the sense of that? What's the feel?
So, yeah, Josh, just to summarize, what you're looking for there is really linked to the role management. Is that correct? Where you want to see
correct, where
managers
you can give a leadership a view of their team so they can say, hey, how's my team doing? And hold that accountability to anyone downstream. When might that be ready, or at least how's that looking? Any update would be welcome.
Is both the roles and permissions and the dashboards are very advanced. So the roles and permission, in fact, ready, and we are really just testing. So it can be any moment in a way in January, February, so somewhere in Q1. because most of the features are working. We just seen we have a great UX team and they are really planning ahead. However, after implementing, we also see some things that are saying, hey, I think we need to do it a bit differently. So yes, I think it's coming somewhere in early Q1, and the same for dashboard. In dashboard, we still have a bit of development as well, especially on the infrastructure side. It's a lot of data to make sure it's performant, but it is also coming somewhere in Q1.
I appreciate all of your efforts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Josh. Great. Anyone else with any thoughts, comments, questions? Feel free. This is for you. So if there's anything else that anyone would like to share before we wrap up.
I would really like to thank you, the community, because it's it's all these new vision and all the feature we develop is being made by our ongoing conversation and exchange of ideas with the community. So it's I would like just to thank everyone for pushing and being part of the project. Thank you so much for your trust, and looking forward to continue working with you all in 2024.
Thank you.
You're right. This session is kind of like also summarizing the whole year of collaboration. So it's like a really good place to say thank you all, both the team internally and also to the clients. It's really great to work with you guys, and thanks for the trust. And we hope we can meet your expectations next year and in the following years.
Yeah, that's really the objective, and it's great. We've seen really the community grow. I mean, we have several people joining today from the US. There's people from all over Europe. We're really developing worldwide, and I think that's really the advantage of software, right? That we can really grow this as a community. So yeah, very excited to work with all of you, and we're really hoping to do great things for all of your projects next year as well. I think we can wrap up, Pascal.
Yes, we can wish you all the best with your project in 2024, and enjoy the break, which I guess is well deserved and needed for everyone.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays for everyone.